I've got to be honest with you, this is not a real blaster bolt, nor is it even red. It's actually just the desk lamp that I use to light my workspace. But something that is not fake is that by the end of this video, this Razor Crest will have exploded. I've made many Mandalorian Inspired builds over the years, and when I started this project, it was just supposed to be a normal diorama. Supposed to be the Razor Crest with some nice LEDs in the engines and in the cockpit. But then I made a critical mistake during assembly. And at that point, I decided to recreate a different moment in the life of the Razor Crest. But until that point in the video, just assume that I'm making a nice, normal diorama. The first thing to do was to measure and cut the XPS foam that will sit on the base inside the football display box. I've had this football display case, American football display case, for years, which is just about the perfect size for a 1/72 scale Razor Crest, so I was very excited to finally use it for that. I cut the foam perfectly on the first or second try, and with that figured out, I could then set the base aside and build my model kit. I've had this model kit sitting on my shelf for almost 2 years now, and decided to thin down the collection and make a little more room for new stuff as I prepare to move to my new studio. The kit was not as easy to throw together as a snap fit kit from Bandai, and it did require glue, but it is a nice kit. If you're considering getting it, there are lots of nice details and clean fits between all of the pieces. Some of you may have noticed that my voice is a little lower and more congested than normal. If you didn't notice, I don't know whether to be happy or sad about that, but if you were going to write a comment asking if I was sick because you heard it in my voice, you can still do that. You can still ask that question in the comments, but yes, the answer is yes. I am currently fighting a cold. The kit comes with a tiny, and I mean very tiny, baby Yoda, or Grogu, depending on how technical you want to be with Star Wars. The kit is 1/72 scale, which I work with a lot, but I was not ready for just how tiny Grogu would be at this scale. I assembled the cockpit and set that aside before finishing up the rest of the ship. I plan to paint this in a few different parts so as to make the painting process just a little easier. Although it was during this stage that I made the fatal decision to glue the windows in place and mask them, which was a dingus move, instead of just waiting to glue them in place after the paint job was done. That was the mistake that caused me to pivot from a nice happy diorama video, like normal, to a durability test video. The explosion was not the original intent. And you may be saying to yourself,
was it really necessary to destroy the whole ship because of some cloudy windows? The rest of the ship looked fine.
But, well, no, the answer is no, I didn't have to, but part of the draw of the ship is being able to see inside the cockpit, and you can't do that if the windows are cloudy. And every time I looked at those windows, I would see failure. I've also wanted to recreate the Razor Crest exploding at some point, so it all worked out. I took the pieces outside to prime and then switched back to normal camera view. The cockpit and the interior of the ship I primed black. After that, I gave the outside of the ship a chrome layer of metallic finish from Rust-Oleum, which did a very nice job. This is the paint that I used, and here is the before and after. I used a brush to paint the interior of the cockpit, starting with Mando's shiny armor, the reddish-brown seats, and of course, little baby Grogu himself. The original plan was to leave this off for a minute so I could come back and add some lights, and then the next step was to move on to the outside of the ship. The chrome paint had dried, and it was time to add the decals that came with the ship. The application went just fine, but for some reason they did not adhere, and I'm out of Microsol. So I ripped that off and decided to just paint the lines on later manually. The first step in weathering was a clear coat to protect the silver finish, and then douse the ship with a burnt umber oil wash. After that, I applied more concentrated shading and panel lining using an enamel pin wash, and the next step was to add the heat discoloration on the fins, around the thrusters, and additional gradients on the ship using the airbrush. And then at this point I decided to apply the stippled yellow stripes, which probably should have been done before the weathering, but it turned out alright. After the yellow lines had been added to the ship, I was done with the painting and it was time to peel off the masking tape, which was a joyful moment. Nice. 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 No, wait. Oh no. In an attempt to make things better, I made them worse. And it was at this point that I decided to recreate the moment of the ship's demise from Season 2 of The Mandalorian. I threw Boba Fett and Yoda in their positions, which I know is not lore accurate, because they didn't explode with the Razor Crest, but hey, I might as well. And here we have our finished Razor Crest, painted and ready to become a firework. I thought I might as well finish the base because I do plan on reusing it for a future Razor Crest, which will be the exact same model. After marking out the spots on the base that needed to remain flat for the landing gear, I put down some masking tape to protect those areas from the flame treatment. I used a butane torch to give the ground some surface variation, and the tape worked perfectly and kept all of the landing spots nice and flat, and they will be blended in after the earth texture. Speaking of which, after a coat of Mod Podge, I applied a generous layer of cracking earth paint from Citadel. It's hard to see at this distance, but zoomed in you can see just how nice this micro texture is. After that, I covered the base with some burnt umber oil wash, same one that I put on the Razor Crest. This will settle more heavily into those cracks and help them show up a little bit more. Next, I dabbed on a few colors of earthy pigment powders, which I blended together and activated with isopropyl alcohol. After one more unifying coat of oil wash, the sides were ready to be painted with black 4.0. After the terrain base was done, it was time to prep this for some nice pre-destruction glamour shots. I loaded up the base and the ship, and I threw the lid on. And remember, these are just the pre-destruction glamour shots. There's more to come when they're done. After the lid was in place, I called it almost good. With the normal crafting portion of the video done, it was time to create the explosion. There aren't many legal ways to do that where I live, but this one, using match heads, is okay, because technically, it's not an explosion. That being said, don't try this at home. After the first box of matches, which contained 300, it was very clear that I was going to need more. I decided to use 10 boxes, which if you do your math, comes to a grand total of 3,000 match heads, which was just the right amount to fill up the Razor Crest. And from a distance, you might mistake this for wasabi-coated peas. To fill the doors, which I assembled in open position and keep my wasabi peas from spilling out, I used packing tape. And after that, I filled up the ship. In case you're wondering, all of the stick parts of the matchsticks will not go to waste. After the Razor Crest had been filled all the way up and the top had been glued on, I called it good. That is it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Huge shout out, as always, to my patrons. You guys are the best. Have an awesome week, everyone. I'll see you next time.